So taking a quick break here with the morning chores that we're getting wrapped up, and you can see we have the other hen that is now broody. So we finally had the brown one that was broken, our Rhode Island red, and now our Delaware is broody. So she's not laying. Fortunately, the other chicken that we have is, so we're still getting an egg every day or two. But one of the things we noticed when we were in here, actually Lori noticed yesterday, is this shed snake skin, which was kind of cool. Not surprised we have snakes in here, and not worried about it. The snakes don't bother the chickens. If anything, the chickens bother the snakes. We've watched them actually attack snakes before. But looking at this snake, it's a pretty good sized snake. And I got a piece of the tail here somewhere, but I don't see any rattles, which is a good sign. And just the sheer size and length of this snake, looking at it tells me it's, I don't know, some type of gopher snake probably, is my guess, because it's a pretty good sized snake. And you know what, the reality is, I don't mind having them around. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the rest of the chores because it's getting late and hot.
Yeah, you need to not be broody. Yeah.
Kind of a late start this morning because we had to do a beef delivery. So we had to go pick up and deliver that. And I know I don't normally do plugs, but this is a shameless plug. We have all of our meat programs. If you're here in the Phoenix area, we have all of our meat programs starting up here in the next month or so. So if that's something you guys are interested in, please check out the website, sign up for the email list, our customer email list, and we'll see what we can do. All right, so I want to get a shot behind me here. You'll see Lori, but of the pasture. You can see the alfalfa right down here has come in really strong since the rain. We continue to water it 3 days a week with that lawn tractor that we have, and it's gotten very, very big. We've got butterflies here, we've got bees all over it, which is really nice to see. And it's getting way too big. We need to actually mow this today. So I'm gonna get that cut back. But also wanted to talk a little bit about the sorghum. Because we got a late start, we got late watering going on, which we don't like to do. We prefer to water really, really early in the morning, like before sunup. But today we don't have a choice. But I want to show you what happened to the sorghum this week. We had very hot weather again this week, pushing 115, which is astronomically high for August. Reminds me of last August, which was pretty bad as well. But the sorghum really got hit hard. The only places where it's growing at all are the areas where we had the pigs that had dug out really well, so the roots are penetrating much further down into the ground. Can tell where those are at. Also right around where we have the waterer. So a couple things that we're learning very quickly is, number one, this definitely cannot take the high heat, especially with the shallower roots that we're getting on this grass this year. The second thing is how we're watering. Overhand watering is always a bad idea in the desert, especially because of evaporation. We knew that going in, but we didn't have anything set up to irrigate down on the ground. And out here, we can't do, because of our water restrictions, we can't do flood irrigation, and we really don't want to. So definitely learning some things with this round of sorghum. Now, you did see me having to cut back around the waterer. That's because it's getting much more saturated from the sprinkler that's right there on top of a little table that we have set up. And you can see it was growing much, much better. That stuff was, pushing 3.5 to 4 feet tall, and I had to cut it back just so the sprinkler could spray past it. Otherwise though, the sorghum's really struggling with the heavy, dry heat, so kind of wilting right back up. Some things we're learning here, and also how we're gonna have to water this each time we go to use it for, kind of breaking up the ground. And that's what this was designed for, was to really come back behind the pigs and really start to condition the soil so that we can grow other things in here. And of course, once we come behind, we can do some type of drip irrigation and probably the drip tape. You guys know we had some javelina getting into the beds, which was a problem because they were tearing up what we had growing in here. So we ordered some 2-foot hardware cloth, a 1/2-inch hardware cloth, but 2 foot as far as width. And we basically put that across the entire front here. And we actually used some metal zip ties, and these metal zip ties worked fantastic. What I like is that we can remove them pretty easy because it'll make it easier to get into the bed. But of course, the whole point to this was making it much more difficult for things like javelina to get into it. So far, no issues. We haven't seen the javelina anyway, but I know this hardware cloth is probably gonna do the trick. Now, the challenge that we have is we are pushing up against our planting season for the fall. And Laura and I have all of the fall beds that we still need to get rocks into and reinforce the bricks. So we gotta fill those bricks. We have to get the irrigation installed, and we have to do these all before we start planting here over the next few weeks. So lots to get done there, but we now have the sweet potatoes protected, and actually we got a few of them coming in pretty good. So wanted to get another shot here of our spring garden beds that we're prepping for next spring. And we have a tremendous amount of growth in the cowpeas. You can see they're starting to basically trellis up the bird netting here, which is wonderful to see. A lot of pollinators in here pollinating these beautiful flowers that I'm going to show you here in a second. And then of course they're putting on a lot of pods. And these pods, I can see there's a few that are green, which I think maybe we'll harvest and try to use as green beans. And then of course we have a lot that are making additional seeds for us, which I really like because all of these cowpeas are now getting climatized to us here in Arizona, and they'll be a much more effective crop for us here as we move forward. But I want to show you a closer up of some of these amazing cowpeas here. Got a couple here. You can see this here we can pretty much treat as a green bean, I believe. We'll see what the seed looks like. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that seed's actually pretty well developed. So that's gonna be a little bit too ripe for us to be using for green beans. It's still pretty solid as far as the seed is concerned, but this one's nice and dry. So this one we can go ahead and harvest as seeds. I was able to harvest 14 seeds out of that one pod, and that's one of the things that always amazes me when it comes to growing fruits and vegetables, is just how much abundance is created when you grow your own. And granted, cowpeas are not expensive, but I have one vine that has dozens of pods just like this, and I've got 14 seeds that just came out of this one pod. So, I mean, literally you can make hundreds of plants from a single plant. And then of course it's doing all that wonderful business inside the soil, generating a very good amount of material that we can use to build biology in the soil itself, to continue to build fertility. And of course, we can harvest the beans and consume those as well. Heck, we can even use these as just regular beans in some type of soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave these in the bed. I don't mind them self-seeding because they give me extra free nitrogen. So as you guys know, we've got new babies on the farm. Well, this one has new babies on the farm. So we gotta go take a peek at Lori's babies and give you guys an update on the turkeys. They are doing so good. They are what, 2.5 weeks old right now?
2.5 weeks, yeah.
17 or 18 days old, something like that. They're already starting to fly really well, and they are so personable, you guys. We have just really been surprised how much we enjoy raising turkeys. So let's go ahead and take a peek at them. Hi there. This one's chatty this morning. Hey there. Oh. Oh. See if we can get a better angle here for you guys, but we have the two different types. So we have the Holland Whites, that's the one in my left hand here, just kind of sitting on my hand. And we have the blue slate you'll see in my right hand there with her butt to the camera, a little camera shy. But the Hollands seem to be a lot more interested in what we're doing. The grays are a little more standoffish, but they're all kind of moving around and trying to stretch their wings. But it's interesting because they have the option of standing on the bars or standing on my arm or my shoulder, and they would prefer to be on us versus on the wood. So we like that. We try to spend as much time as we can out here with these guys. You know, it's hot, so it's a little uncomfortable, but they really like us being here with them. In fact, when we're out here and they know we are, they're chirping like crazy because they want us to be here.
Where are you going? Huh? Oh, hi. Hi there. Hi.
There you go.
There you go. She's like, don't freak me out.
That's probably
Don't freak me
the...
out. What? Trying to eat my shirt? I guess you're going across my back. Hey there. Hi. Oh, you're gonna fall. Hey, you guys. Ooh, there you go. So we have the bar that we've put in here just while we're out here, just for them to jump up on. But we had read that you shouldn't put a roost in there for these guys until 4 weeks, so we take it out every day. So if anybody finds that that's not true, let us know, because they would much rather be jumping up on stuff all day. They're very clumsy. Which I know it's supposed to be a wider board from what I've read, so we need to adjust that. We had that in here for the hens when we have new hens in here on the brooder. Whoa. Yeah, they're very uncoordinated.
Yes, they are.
The white ones are doing better, but the gray ones are definitely clumsy.
Come on, turkey time's over.
All right,
Come on,
down.
you. You're comfy.
Nope, gotta get down. Gotta get down. I know.
There we go. Right underneath the branch is best. You want to stand back and just kind of eyeball it for me?
That might be a little too much. So after the rain that we got, we have mesquite trees coming up everywhere. So right here, I've got a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna pull them all out because if not, they're harder to pull out when they get bigger.
Had a couple quick projects we wanted to get done with you guys today. You can see one of those was putting these plastic protectors on the trunks of two of the loquats up here. Both of these break a little bit higher, and at this point I think all we need to do is protect the trunks and make sure the rabbits aren't chewing on those trunks. I don't think they're going to be able to get up here a little bit higher. You can see this one here, this is our big gem loquat, and it's really having a hard time here this summer. However, it's still alive, and you guys know we're here in full sun. It's got full sun all day long, and it's surviving this super hot weather just fine. But that is done. It is the first Saturday of the month here in August, and we have live stream with you guys today, so Lori and I are gonna need to wrap up here. If this is the first time you've been with us, we just wanna encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here. This is our weekly vlog where we kind of give everybody an update on what's going on around the farm. We like to do that each week and get that posted on Sundays and share the content. If you know anybody that's into this kind of thing, would love it if you would share that. It definitely helps the channel out here when you do that. And of course, any questions or comments in the comment section down below. So just want to thank you guys for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. So do you say we should probably do a turkey update for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, did I say at 3 o'clock with the live stream? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, 'cause that's tomorrow.
They missed it.
Yeah.